They always say don't like get away from like what got you there. And for you and I with River City, what has got us here is like just down to earth.
I've actually loved that most of our clients have been organic.
LJ Westbrook!
My name is LJ Westbrook. LJ is Little James. My father's name is James, as you know.
I've been meaning to ask that question.
he's really it's a little tricky situation. His name is James Westbrook, no middle name. My grandfather's name is James Westbrook II, no middle name. My great grandfather is the original James Westbrook, no middle name. So my dad is the third. My full legal name is James Marquise Alvarez Westbrook. So I have my middle name is Marquise and my last name is hyphenated Alvarez Westbrook. So I'm technically, I would have been the fourth if I didn't have a middle name or a hyphenated last name. So I'm an original James Marquise Alvarez Westbrook, and my son now is the second, and we call him Deuce.
Okay.
So my name is LJ Westbrook, and I play professional basketball. I've been playing professional basketball the past 5 years now. And that's really what I do as far as my professional standpoint, what I do for work. I work with my dad, run shoot. I'm starting to train kids and starting to really trying to, widen my horizons as far as other aspects of life outside of basketball goes, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And you just got back from where? Playing where?
I was in Africa. I was in the Ivory Coast playing in the National League out there. This was my second year out there. We won back-to-back championships. I won Finals MVP this season. And like I was telling you earlier, we qualified for the Basketball Africa League that's sponsored by the NBA. And it's a really good opportunity for me, bro. I cannot lie. It's a really good opportunity to be seen by NBA scouts, be seen by Summer League guys. The Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP are on 2 Summer League rosters right now in Vegas.
Okay.
So that's really huge,
Okay. Really
huge to be all the games in the BAL are played on the ESPN app or NBA TV.
Okay.
So it's a really big deal.
Is this Africa League? Is this almost like the African G League? Like
where the one are you talking about the one we just qualified for?
The one that you qualified for, that the NBA is associated with.
Right. So it's the NBA of Africa.
Oh,
if
okay.
that makes sense. So, but I mean, it's affiliated with the NBA in a way to where it is kind of like another form of a G League as well. It's not the G League, obviously. Right. I would say it would be NBA, G League, and then BAL right under that. They sponsor all the jerseys. There's a lot of African players in the NBA, like Luol Deng, Joakim Noah has African descent, and a few other guys that come to the BAL too, to kind of give their appreciation as far as guys playing here in Africa or there in Africa. Mm-hmm. Being from America, knowing how different the culture is, how different the lifestyle is and stuff. So it's really cool that the NBA is behind the BAL as well. It's great to see.
So the team you played on in the Ivory Coast, because you guys won, you qualified to be in that league?
Exactly. So how it works is
it's almost like soccer or football, right?
Pretty much, kind of how they
Europe.
qualify for the World Cup or for the Euro League Cup or something like that. So how it works for the BAL is that obviously there's tons of countries in Africa. So I'm in the country Ivory Coast. You have to win that national league in your country to qualify for the first round. Is called the Elite 16, and that's what I'll be going back in November for, back to my city in the Ivory Coast. And we did that last year. We won the National League, won the Elite 16, and then They played in the BAL this year. I didn't play with my team. And then we just did the same thing all over again. We just won the National League. We're going to go back in 2 weeks, win the Sweet 16 again, and then qualify for the BAL after that, and then I'll play this year again. But you have to win your country. So, like, we won Ivory Coast. There's a team in Rwanda that's trying to win and represent Rwanda. So when we go to the BAL, I have my team name, which is ABC Fighters, but in the description it says we're Ivory Coast. We're representing the Ivory Coast.
Gotcha.
Pretty much.
So in that league, it's just a league of the winner of that country.
Exactly.
So each team in that league won their country.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the Sweet 16 is there's 16 teams. There's 2 Sweet 16s. There's a West and an East. And then the top 8 teams from both sides of the Sweet 16 qualify for the BAL, and then there's 16 teams in the BAL.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay. And when you going back to that?
I go back in about 2 months, probably at the end of September, early October.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And will you be in Salem up until then?
Yeah, I'll be here in Salem. Like I said, helping my dad out with his AAU program on the shoot and training kids as well. I like, just kind of how we talked about earlier, bro. I feel like I got so much to give back to the game, bro.
Yeah.
Just so much knowledge and so much. I'm just so passionate about basketball too. I can't really see myself doing anything else, at least right now. You know what I mean? While I'm not playing overseas. So
yeah.
Especially kids here in this community too. I was living in Texas for a little bit. I'm in the process of moving back home now. And it was just so much harder for me to kind of want to do that in Texas because I didn't grow up there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't find passion in getting kids better out there because they couldn't really relate to me in a sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's easy for me to show up and say, hey, I'm LJ Westbrook. I did this, and that. But if you've never heard of my name, who is LJ Westbrook? Bro, you're from Oregon? Where's Oregon? What is Salem, Oregon? You know what I mean? They don't care about Salem, Oregon, and Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Right.
But being here in Salem, being visibly present, just for instance, last night at my dad's practice, like he had me speak to his kids, and some kids that are 14, 15 years old now, bro, that I didn't know watched me in high school. You know what I mean? Come up to me and I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? My name is LJ. What's your name? He's like, oh, my name is Jimmy, bro. I watched you play at North. I watched you play at the hoop, work out. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, bro, I really look up to you. Like that type of stuff right there motivates me, bro, even more than they realize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm here this summer. I'll be giving back to the community as much as I can.
What year or years were you at North?
I got my freshman year at North was 2008, 2009.
Okay.
Or no, maybe it's 2000. I think it's 2009, 2010, because I would have graduated in 2013. Would have been my senior year, 2013, 2014.
Okay.
So yeah, I got there 2009, 2010, I believe so.
Okay. And Willie was coaching. I mean, we had him on. He talked a little bit about that. I met Willie because he coached the last semi-pro team that was here in Salem. Yes. I played on that team, the Salem Sabres, mm-hmm. And he was the coach.
Okay,
that's how I met Willie.
Yeah.
But I know he was coaching North before that.
Right.
And you guys won 2.
We won 2 back-to-back Central Valley. Back then it was the CVC, the Central Valley Conference. So my freshman year, we had a coach from Hawaii. His name was Coach Cho. Coach Joseph Cho, I believe was his first. Maybe I'm wrong about it. His last name was Cho. He was from Hawaii.
Okay.
And at the end of that season, my freshman year, I dressed down varsity. I swung JV varsity. I really played JV. Barely played varsity at all until we were playing McNary. And one of the seniors got hurt, and he didn't have no option, but he just kind of threw me in there. And I hit a game winner at the end of the fourth quarter. I hit a 3, and I kind of got some momentum after that. I started playing a little bit, but we were trash my freshman year. We were so bad. The seniors, great guys. Don't get me wrong, great guys. They're still my friends to this day, but they weren't just hoopers. Yeah. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a team full of hoopers. We had Avery Holmes. He was a sophomore. He was our best player. He was doing everything that he possibly could to help us win. We probably won 13, 14 games.
Okay. So Avery was a year older than you?
Yeah, Avery's a class above me.
Okay.
And that's been my brother, man, since we've been, I don't know, Avery was probably in 5th grade. I was in 4th grade, growing up in North Salem together, and he was the baby of his family. He has, I want to say, 3 or 4 older brothers and sisters. And so he was getting beat up his whole life. And so when he was hanging out with us, he was beating us up. And I needed that because I didn't have I got 2 older half brothers, but they weren't really in my life. I wasn't seeing them like that. So I needed Avery to kind of, beat me up and push me. And that helped me more so than he even understands. But yeah,
where's he at? He's
right now,
somewhere.
he's living in Florida with his family.
Okay.
With his girl and he just had a son. He has a son and then a daughter as well. So he's in Florida right now. He's getting ready to go back to Mexico and play for the team I played for last year. He's going to be playing on that team this season. Okay. And they start in August, so he's going to go out there in a couple of weeks, I believe so.
Okay.
So it was me and Avery freshman year. It was really him. It was really just Avery's team sophomore year. I didn't really play. At the end of freshman year, when our coach said he was leaving, he came to me and Avery and was like, hey, I'm leaving. I'm not going to be here. Thinking that we were kind of going to be upset, like that he was our guy. And I love Coach Toe, you know what I mean? But me and Avery are like, okay, well, we got to bring a guy in here who is going to let us play how we want to. We've been planning to play with each other at North since 7th grade. You know what I mean? Like now it's here, bro. It's time. So how Willie became the coach is probably one of the most random stories, bro, in Oregon basketball history. I used to live at the hoop all day, every day at the hoop. Rest in peace to my guy, James Johnson, man. Price's son. Just took me under his wing, taught me the game, taught me how to play the game the right way. So I was living at the hoop all day, every day, especially in the summer. Willie was living with James at the time because he was playing overseas basketball. So he's from Atlanta, Georgia. He was living here in Salem because he was playing overseas. He went to college with James. They were teammates at Western Carolina.
Yep.
They were teammates, and so James called Willie and was like, "Hey, come out here and coach. I got this gym, I got this program. Come coach for me. You can ref, whatever. You can work out, whatever you want." So he was living with James, and we walked in to the hoop one day, and Willie's just looking mad stressed out behind the desk, like just mad stressed out, bro. And we're asking him like, "Yo, what's going on?" He's like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do, little bro. Like, might just go back home. I don't know what I'm gonna do." And Avery just kind of nudged me, and he was like, "Tell him." And I was like, well, I mean, we need a coach at my high school. I don't know if you're down to coach. And he was like, well, tell your AD to set an appointment and I'll show up. And, bro, 2 weeks later, Willie was named the head coach of North Salem High School right after that. So Willie came in, and then he brought his other Western Carolina teammate, CeeLo. I don't know if you know CeeLo?
Well, I played with CeeLo on the Sabres. Okay. So that's how I met both of them.
So you know CeeLo, then. You know the real CeeLo. CeeLo came... And when you met him, he was probably a little chilled out. But when CeeLo came to Salem at first, CeeLo was CeeLo, bro. He was crazy. That's my guy. That is my brother. That's my big brother. Him and Willie both. But CeeLo was nuts, bro. He brought that North Carolina energy over here to Salem, and that helped. They both, I got to give them both their flowers, man. Like, they don't realize how much they impacted my life at that time, and kids in the North Salem area in general. There's still kids I'll walk up to today and be like, you played for Willie at North. You guys were great. You guys were this, and that. And it started with Willie and CeeLo. Willie actually flew back to Georgia, grabbed his stuff, threw it in a car, drove back and called CeeLo and was like, bro, I need an assistant. Saying CeeLo, I don't think CeeLo was with it at first, I don't think. And then he was like, you know what, fine, like, come get me. Then he picked him up, and they drove from North Carolina all the way out here to Salem.
So that's why CeeLo came out here.
Yeah, CeeLo was coming because his boy needed him to coach with him. Willie needed him to coach with him. CeeLo wasn't coming out here just because he wanted to at all. Like, Willie called him for a favor.
I know Willie has probably told me that, but
Right.
Okay.
Called him for a favor. Came in, was coaching with Willie. So my sophomore year, it was my first year as having Willie as a coach. My sophomore year, Avery's junior year, Willie and CeeLo turned the whole program. It went from we're here practicing, this is fun, like it practices to it's serious. You know what I mean? Like, it's, if you're not stretching hard, it's a problem. If you're not in the gym 30 minutes before practice, it's a problem. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Being a professional now, like, that's something that I look at. If I got a teammate that's coming in 10 minutes before practice, don't just expect me to be passing you the ball in the game, bro, because you're not putting in the work.
Right.
I'm in here an hour before practice putting up shots. That's why I'm shooting it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't feel comfortable passing somebody the ball that I see is not putting in the work.
Right.
And they taught me that. Willie and CeeLo taught me that. So sophomore year was our first year. I think when we knew we were going to be good, we had a tournament in Coos Bay, Christmas tournament. We weren't invited to the Les Schwab because we sucked my freshman year. We didn't get no respect. We went to Coos Bay, and we won the tournament. And when we won the tournament, we like met as a team after, and we were like, hey, we got something special going on, bro. We really got something special going on. So we went on and won the Central Valley Conference. We beat Sprague in the championship. Where they had AJ LaPrey, Tanner Morgan. Those are my guys. I played AAU with them at the hoop as well. I know they'll like hearing that. Yeah, we beat you guys 2 years in a row. We beat them at Sprague.
I played with AJ last summer.
Really? I think he's related to the McShanes too, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. So Mike's his uncle.
Oh, that's
so
exactly.
So Mike's sister is married to I believe Sam's AJ's dad, Sam's brother.
Okay.
So they're actually family.
You're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right.
But I randomly got on a men's league team last summer with AJ. I think through Skin. And then I met AJ. Actually, before I met Mike, I think Mike came to one of our little men's league games at the hoop. And I was starting to connect with AJ, and I had just went on his YouTube and watched some video of kind of his basketball journey.
Yeah.
And the next game, we're like stretching, getting ready to play. And I'm like, bro, your basketball journey might be like the worst like luck of any basketball person I have ever heard of, with all the injuries that he sustained. Mm-hmm. And so we're like joking about that. Bro, we start playing that game, and like 2 minutes into that game, rolls his ankle. I don't think he's picked up a basketball since then.
And I don't mean to laugh, but he's gone through it, bro. Injury wise, he has gone through it. So I can only imagine if he did roll his ankle and he hasn't picked one up since, it's probably messing with him. That's my guy, and I love you, AJ. But I know he's gone through it. I know he's gone. He was a monster when we were little kids.
Yeah.
He and my other best friend, Deshaun Keebler. AJ and Deshaun Keebler were the two first people that made me like rethink if I was a basketball player. When I first played against AJ, he was playing for PHK, Portland Hoop Kings. And he was, just dominating. And that's all they were talking about before the game. They got this kid named AJ. He's a monster. He's from Salem. He's tall. He can shoot. He can do it all. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So we play him, and he was the real deal, to where on the drive home, I was thinking like, bro, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready to play AAU basketball. If they're like him, if they're all like him, I'm not ready. But so yeah, we beat AJ and Sprague and his team, BJ's team. Sophomore year, we beat him in the CVC tournament, and we went and played first round of the playoffs, state playoffs. I forget who we played, but we won. Second round, we went down and played Roseburg.
It's okay. Now I'm remember because Willie said this.
We played Roseburg at Roseburg, who we played earlier in the year and beat by 20. We played them at Roseburg. Craziest environment to this day, bro, that I have ever played in to this day.
Yeah.
If you're from Oregon and you know Southern Oregon and Roseburg and what goes down there,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We stopped on the way because we left school early. We stopped on the way at, I think, like some steakhouse, maybe like Chili's or something. Bro, I took a fork and like the steak knife with me and put it in my backpack just because I knew what they're capable of down there in Roseburg, bro. So anyway, we go and we play Roseburg and we lose. We choked. We just blew it. You know what I mean? We were hands down way better than them. And this is the game to go to the Rose Garden at the time, not the Moda Center. This is the game to go to the state tournament at the Rose Garden. And we choked, bro. We ended up, it was tied going into the fourth quarter. And I want to say they beat us by like 14.
Really?
Yeah, that fourth quarter just screwed us. They just went crazy. They were hitting three after three. We couldn't get a stop. We started getting texts at the end because we started seeing it slip away. And I'll never forget at the end of the game, I'm a sophomore, so I'm still pretty young, like, 15 maybe. At the end of the game, I'm sitting there at the middle. They stormed the court. I'm just standing there, just put my head down, and I'm bawling, bro. I'm in tears, and my dad came and grabbed me. He was like, nah, it's okay. You know, you still got 2 years left. Just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your head up and keep it pushing. So that's how my sophomore year went at school. After my sophomore season ended, I started playing AAU again, obviously at the hoop for James Johnson. And with 5 days left in the school year, I left school for lunch. I went to my homie's house for lunch, and we were in his backyard smoking weed. When we were smoking in the backyard, somebody recognized me because I played basketball, and they called the school and said, "Hey, LJ Westbrook is in his backyard. You know, it looks like he appears to be smoking weed." And I went back to school. When I went back to school and, you know, they kind of confronted me about it, took me into the office, and they found out that's what I was doing, they suspended me for the last, 5 days of school. So, and any drug-related issue in the Salem-Keizer area is a strike on the 3-strike policy for drugs, fighting, guns, and weapons, stuff like that. You get 3 strikes.
Gotcha.
So that was my first strike sophomore year.
Okay.
So I'm suspended for the rest of the school year, and I'm on lockdown at my house, bro. I can't even. My dad took everything out of my room. No TV, no phone, no books. I'm in my room just contemplating what I'm gonna do in my life. The only place I could go was the hoop and go outside and work out. So that right there was like, okay, well, I'm not just gonna sit in my room and just stare at these walls all day. I might as well go to the gym. And while I'm at the gym, James was like, "Nah, you're not coming here. I know you're in trouble. You're not finna come here and just kick it in here. We're finna work out." You know, James Johnson and Price Johnson and Dane Johnson were like, "We're finna work out, bro. You're finna get better." So that summer is when I turned it up completely, bro. I turned into a monster. Like, I finally had that dog in me on both sides of the ball. And I had a great AAU summer, bro, an amazing AAU summer. And I got 3 offers from, I forget the third one, but one was from Oregon and the other one was from Oregon State. And the Oregon State head coach at the time was Barack Obama's brother-in-law, Michelle Obama's brother, Coach Robinson.
Yeah.
So we were big. My parents were big, you know, Barack Obama fans. Not that had anything to do with basketball, but they were like, let's go. Let's see what he has to say. He wanted me to come on an unofficial visit. We went to the campus at Corvallis, and they just showed me an extreme amount of love that I have never seen before, bro. And I'm a sophomore, finna be a junior. So I've never experienced no type of recruitment, nothing. This is my first time going through all this. And I literally went on the unofficial visit. They offered me. They had a video for me in high school of the film I didn't even know that they, you know what I'm saying, that they had or how they got it. They're like, "We want you, you know, you're an Oregon kid. We want you to come be the face." They had a guy there named Jared Cunningham. Yeah. You heard of Jared Cunningham? He played in the league with LeBron on the Cavs. Monster. And my game kind of resembled his, and he was going to be leaving when I was going to be a freshman. So it kind of all made sense, you know what I mean? So me and my parents were driving home from Corvallis back to Salem, and my mom and dad are like, "Well, what do you think?" And I'm like, "It's close to home, you know, I like it. I think I should do it." So I called Coach Robinson it's a 25-minute drive from Corvallis back to Salem. By the time we were pulling up in my driveway, I left Oregon State non-committed, and by the time I got to my driveway in Salem, I was a verbally committed Oregon State Beaver. So this is kind of where things get a little tricky for me. So the last thing my teachers and my people at North Salem see is me getting suspended for the weed situation. When they see me junior year, I'm a Division I basketball commit. So they were, I don't want to say they were upset, but there were some people in that school that weren't just excited about that, you know what I mean? And I was young, so now I'm walking into my junior year like, yeah, like I'm him, you know what I mean? Like this is me. Like North Salem this is my gym, this is my school, all that. And what really set people over the top, I feel like, even to this day, is that when you get in trouble for a drug-related issue and you play sports, you're suspended for the next half of the season of the sport you play. So me being a basketball guy, I was like, okay, I'm going to play football. So that way I play football and I don't have to miss no basketball games. I'll just be suspended for half the football season.
Oh, whatever sport you start to play,
yeah,
that's what you miss.
Literally. So if I would have saved that situation with me and the whole first weed situation happened in September, October, before basketball season even started, and then basketball season started, I would have missed 10 games of the first 10 games of the basketball season. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play football. So I'm suspended for the first 4 games of the football season, which I'm honestly I'm cool with because I wasn't just a football guy. You know what I mean? Right. So I played football junior year, missed the first couple games or whatever. Boom, basketball season comes back around. Willie's the coach, and now we have a new assistant coach. His name is Ryan Schmidt. McNary graduate.
Yeah.
And now he's coaching in London for the London Lions. I think he just won a championship in a big league out there. Yeah. He was our assistant.
I played with him back in the day at some, I don't know, but right. I know who.
He's a great family, bro. Him and his brother Matt, bro. They're great. They grew up in the hoop too. And those are all my big brothers. Even before Willie started coaching, like Willie, Ryan Schmidt, Matt Schmidt, Big Ryan Skinner, Travis Dunn. Like, bro, there's so many guys in there. Because, you know, the first semi-pro team before the Sabres was the Stampede, the Salem Stampede. So all those guys were in the gym. Phil Nelson, rest in peace to Phil Nelson, man. They were in there working out, you know, training, just beating me up. Like, I'm trying to hoop with them. Nah, you're not ready. You know what I mean? And they were showing me what I needed to do to get to their level. And they weren't just high-level professionals by any means, you know what I mean? But they could see something in me that I didn't even see at myself at the time. And they were pushing me to new levels that I didn't know I was going to get to.
Yeah.
So now Ryan's our assistant coach junior year. And junior year after we came and did it sophomore year, we're like, bro, the expectations was state championship or bust. Like, we got Avery's a senior. He's hands down top 5 senior in the state. They had just came out with the rankings for the junior class, and I was ranked number 1 as a junior. And behind me was Calvin Hermanson that went to Laco. And after Calvin, it was, who was it? I want to say it was Bryce, my homie Bryce Canada that went to Grant.
Okay.
And so we were like, bro, we don't got no choice. Now, it was totally different from last year. Last year's expectations, Willie was a first-year coach. You know, it was like, let's just see what we can do. Now it's like we got our same coach. We had the same players. That we only had like 2 seniors my sophomore year that left, and one of them only played. So we got the same team back. Nothing but dogs, you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, we have to win. Now we're going to win. I think it was like 4 games in, bro. We're 4-0. We're playing Jefferson, at Jefferson. We win. I have a great game. I have like 28. After the game, we find out Avery tears his meniscus. So now he's finna, this is right before the Les Schwab Invitational that we get invited to. So we play Jesuit on the opening night of the Les Schwab against Jesuit, who just won the state championship the year before with my homie Kian Rayner. They had some dude named Xavier on that team. He was a monster. We're playing them. I'm playing them without my right-hand man for the first time. You know what I mean? So now it's like I'm running the show. And it was easy with me playing with Avery because me and Avery are both point guards. So we would take turns bringing it up. You know what I mean? Whoever was there, you bring it up, you set it up, whatever. But now my guy is gone. And Jesuit knew that. Jesuit was sending a double at me, bro, all game. I did not know what. This is my first time in my life getting double teamed from full court. Mm-hmm. They're throwing a trap at me full court. They got a guy face guarding me full court. And I'm used to seeing them do that to Avery. And I think that's why I love you, Avery. I think that's why, because when they did that to Avery, it was way easier for me to get loose. You know how it is. You know what I mean? So they started doing it to me. And I had a little bro, his name is Malik Leaks. He was a grade younger than me. He was me to Avery, and I was Avery to him. And so now he's a sophomore. He has to step up. He wasn't ready at the time. I wasn't ready to lead at the time. Jesuit beat us by like 25, bro. It was embarrassing. And that really woke us up for the rest of the season. It was like, I think we won like maybe 1 game at the Les Schwab, 2 games, bro. We were terrible. We were awful. We had to, look ourselves in the face and be like, well, what are we going to do? If Avery's not here, you know what I mean? Avery's not God. He's not our savior. He's our best player for sure. Mm-hmm. But we got to figure it out because he's not playing. So we ended up figuring it out. He came back. We won the CVC again, beat Sprague again for the second year in a row. We go on to the state tournament again, bro, as a junior. But things took a turn, as Willie already talked about on his episode here. He got into a little situation where he got removed as a head coach. I'll never forget that day, bro. We just won the championship against Sprague, the Central Valley Championship. And one of Willie's good friends was Kevin Martin from the Rockets. Yep. They were playing the Blazers, and so he was in town. They went to Western Carolina together with James and CeeLo too. Yep. Willie goes up there. A situation happens. We had school the next day, and we would all kind of link up in Willie's classroom all the time. And Willie never missed a day. Willie was there early. So Willie's door was locked. Like, it was closed. There was nobody in there. And so we're like, it's kind of weird, but whatever. Kept it pushing. It's the end of first period. I'm walking to my second period. My principal, Miss Cynthia Richardson, is yelling at me from down the hall, LJ, get over here. And she put me and Avery in the principal's office with her and kind of explained what was going on. This is like right before the playoffs start. So now Ryan Schmidt is our head coach now. He's got to be the head coach, which is fine. You know, like he knew everything about us already, been with us all year, but it was a real curveball. You know what I mean? Willie was our guy. He was really the heart and soul of our team. You've met Willie, but Willie 10 years ago, bro, had all the energy in the world. He's going to make you laugh. He's the same Willie now, but he just had a little bit more energy. Yeah. I think, you know, he's got 3 or 4 kids now. He's kind of wore out a little bit now. So
it's more tired.
Yeah, when he was fresh, he was a ball of energy, and then everybody in the school loved him. Everybody loved him. Yeah. So now that he's taken away, it's kind of like a stab in the chest a little bit, you know, a gut punch. Yeah. And Ryan stepped up. He did a great job. Our first round playoff game was against Redmond. Okay. I think they're like an hour or 2 away. They came to North. We beat them in the first round. And then the second game, we got to go to Southern Oregon again, my God, to South Medford. We're playing at South Medford now. It's basically the same thing as Roseburg. And we choke again, bro. We literally just choke again. They're not better than us. We're deeper. We're more talented, but they played better than us that day. And we choked. And I'll never forget seeing Avery, bro. Like I said, I grew up with Avery, and he was the big dog on the block everywhere we went. Everybody respect. Avery could spit on somebody and they wouldn't do nothing to him. That's how much juice he had growing up. I seen Avery in the locker room weeping. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of hit me like, dang, like I'm never gonna play with him again. You know what I mean? Like at least here in high school, like it's over. Right. He was sobbing, bro, like really crying. That was his last high school game, and he knew it was over and that we shouldn't have lost. But
so that was the same. Had you won, you go to state.
We would have been right in the state tournament. 2 years in a row, we lost in the game to go to the state tournament. So, to this day, bro, 2 games that I wish I could get back for sure. Especially Roseburg. We beat them by 20. Easy. They were not better than us, but it is what it is.
So, back in the day when I played, 16 teams went to state. Okay. Not 8. And so, I missed that 16. State was like a whole week long back when I played. Like it was like they let kids get out of school, like to
go to the games.
It was like a whole thing, like a whole week because there were 16 teams, right? And so now it's different. It's much more difficult because you got to be one of those top 8.
You got to be a top 8, and now it's played at the Moda Center still, right? Now it's played at the Child Center in University of Portland, right?
I think they switched it,
to UP.
Yeah, back when, shoot.
It was at Matt Court, I know, back in the day.
2000, even before that, 99, 2000, I went my junior and my senior year. It was at the Coliseum, which is next to the Moda Center. Okay. Which used to be the Rose Garden. Okay. The Rose Garden, I want to say, was just built, it was just built. And I think if you got to the top 4 or 8, you got to go play in the Rose Garden. That was like the new thing at that time. But yeah, it was, back in my day, the Chancellor Coliseum, that's where state was. Right. So I'm kind of bummed that it's smaller because it was like...
Me too.
It was like a whole... Well, and teams like you guys, right? Like, you don't even get to experience state. Yeah. But you would have back in the parameters in which we played because the top 16 went.
Exactly. It is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? There's no excuse. We should have won both those games. Easily. Especially the first one, like I said, Roseburg. That kills me. I hate the city of Roseburg.
I remember when Willie told me that. I now remember that. I was like, "Who'd you guys lose to?" And he was like, "Roseburg."
Roseburg, what? Man. Just
South Medford has a storied program.
I can take that one.
They win games.
And they had Kyle's little brother on the team. They had not EJ, but they had a younger brother. I forget his name. And he played. Yeah, he was on the team.
It is EJ Singler.
They had wasn't. Yeah, they have another. They have a younger
they had
brother.
A third one.
Yeah, he was the third one. EJ, when I was at North, EJ played at the University of Oregon. Yes. When I was committed to Oregon State and would go to the games, and I went to the Civil War, EJ was on U of O. Okay, so he was a little bit older, and they had a younger one, and he wasn't as talented as Kyle or EJ, but he was solid. You know what I mean? And his team beat our team, bro, and it is what it is. We should have won that game, but we didn't. Yeah. And so now, after that game, my mission is just, another AAU season, another great AAU season, and then it's really my show now. And I'm going into senior year. So now I'm still committed to Oregon State, and James Johnson, again, rest in peace to my brother James Johnson. He always would tell me, like, you know, it's time for you to expand your game. I really couldn't. Now, my best part of my game, bro, is my shot. You know, my shot making ability. Back then, I was attack downhill, get to the rim, get and ones, and I might shoot a three occasionally, you know. But James Johnson, that summer going into my senior year, is like, this is a summer you need to be knocked down. You know what I mean? Like, if you're open, it has to go in. You got to make open shots, and now you got to make every contested shot if you want to be great. You know what I mean? That's what Avery did. My sophomore year. This is Avery's junior year, bro. To backtrack a little bit. We're playing Sprague in a regular season game. I watched Avery go for like 45 against Sprague, and it was probably the craziest 45 to this day that I've ever seen. Just because of his shot making ability was insane, bro. Contested shots, fades, threes, pull up transition threes, catch and shoot, floaters. He was dunking on dudes. Insane. So I'm starting to really, now I'm like 6'2", you know, going in 6'2", 6'3", going into my senior year. Decent AAU season. Was really working hard on my shot. Played in the EYBL, and I think that's where my game went to a whole nother level. Was I started playing against nationally ranked talent, you know what I'm saying, every weekend. So we had 4 sessions, and my first game in the EYBL, bro, was against Julius Randle, who was the number 1 player in my class. And on my team, my EYBL team, I had from Oregon, it was me, Cameron Chapman out of Portland, Donovan Dorsey, he went to the University of Washington. My boy Silas Nelson that played at Jefferson, won the state championship and went to Gonzaga.
Yep.
And then out of state, we had Jordan Bell from Long Beach that played for the Warriors and went to Oregon. And then we had Rashawn Prince that was from Long Beach as well. And I think he went to Long Beach State. And so we're playing Julius Randle. Bro, I'm growing up in Salem and Portland and playing in Vegas. The only tournament I played dudes from outside of Oregon and LA is in Vegas, where we'd see, you know, nationally ranked talent. And that was the only experience I had. I never went to the EYBL and played against a ranked dude on an hourly basis. I had Julius Randle, then I had Jabari Parker right after that, 2 hours later. You know what I mean? So we played Julius Randle, and he told Jordan Bell. Jordan Bell was so dominant, bro. Like, when we practiced, he used to destroy us, like, easy in practice. I watched Jordan Bell get babied by Julius Randle, easy. And it was like, yeah, I'm not in Oregon anymore, bro. This is serious, bro. This is serious. So I was playing against those guys, and that got me so much better to when I came back to Salem. It was like, bro, I got to average 30 out here now. You know what I mean? Because I was doing pretty good in the EYBL. We didn't make Peach Jam. I think we missed it by like 1 game. Peach Jam is the playoffs and the championship. We missed it by like 1 game. But now I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm going into my senior year. I'm feeling myself like, okay, this is the year. This is the year. So going into senior year, Willie's not coaching. We get a new coach. I honestly can't even remember his name. I think it was Martino. I don't know if you know somebody by the name Martino.
Nope.
So he's the coach, and I don't play football, you know, senior year. So I'm just going to all the football games, hanging out with my friends. And let me say this is the first time I've ever spoken on this situation, bro. Like, ever. Like, this is my first time since, 2023? 10 years ago, 9 years ago, that I've ever spoke on this situation. This is the first time.
Which I appreciate, and I've been curious because I always wondered. I heard about you back then, and I always, because I'm a basketball guy, so, you know, and I'm like, what happened with, what was the story with the Westbrook guy?
Yeah, and that's another reason I appreciate you as well, bro, for letting me come on here and use your platform to kind of, you know, share my story, because there's a lot of stories out there and a lot of, you know, how, you know, rumors travel and everything. And so what you guys are finna hear right now, this is really what happened. This is literally, bro, 2 days before tryouts for basketball. So I think it was maybe November. I'm a couple months into school, senior year, feeling myself. You know, who's not senior year? You're a senior. You know, you're going to be a star basketball player. I'm feeling myself. I had just went to Portland and got a new backpack from my AAU coach, my EYBL coach, Kanan Chapman. Shout out Kanan Chapman. He gave me a new backpack, and on all our ICP backpacks, our travel bags, he used to get our names stitched onto the bag. And they called me Juan, because I told you I'm half Mexican, so they used to call me Juan as a joke. So they would put LJ Juan on my backpack.
Okay.
So I just got a new one, and on my previous backpack, it just said LJ Westbrook on it. It didn't say Juan. So I gave my one of my best friends. I got two best friends, and I'll just say friend A and friend B. I gave friend A my old backpack that said LJ Westbrook on it because he needed a new backpack. No problem, bro. Gave it to him because I got a new one. I'm using that as my school bag, whatever. So this is literally 2 days before tryouts. I go to school. I'm going to school with my two best friends, friends A and friend B, and they had some weed in the car, in my friend's car. It's not my. I didn't even have my license. I had my license, but I had no car. I used to drive my mom's car. So my friend's driving, friend A is driving, friend B is driving. We all go to school together. Sometimes he would pick us up. So they had some weed in the car. And back then, weed isn't looked at as it is now, right, as commonly. You know what I mean? Like, right, back then, weed was like, you would have thought weed was crack cocaine to these people. So I go to class. I go to first period. My first period class was weights with friend A and friend B. We have weights first period. So we got out of weights like a little early, 10, 15 minutes early. I left my backpack with my book bag in it in my friend's car. So I'm walking to my friend's car, and I see this kid I went to school with. And he's like, hey, I'm finna smoke real quick. Like, do you care if I do it in the car? I'm like, bro, this isn't my car. But friend A came out and was like, yeah, he's good. Go ahead. You can, just do it in the car. Be careful. So I'm grabbing my backpack. The dude that seen me out there, he gets in the car. He's smoking out of his pipe, smoking some weed out of his little pipe. We see security come past us, like just rolling past us. So I was like, hey, let's go. So we walk out. We go into the school smelling like mm-hmm. somebody just smoked.
Right.
The security guard walks past my friend that went to the car with me, just a random friend that I knew that I'm not really close with, but he's a classmate. Walked past him, must have smelled it on him, and immediately snatched him up and was like, come with me. So I see that. I turn to the right or turn to the left or wherever and just walk to my next class. So I go to my next class. I'm sitting in there. Boom, 15 minutes into class, security comes and like, hey, I need LJ. So they take me into the principal's office. Not even the principal's office. They put me in one room, friend A in another room, friend B in another room, the three of us, and then the dude that was smoking. And there's four of us in four separate rooms. And I had a class in the portable, which is outside. Like, I had to walk past the football field, the track, to get back into the actual school building. As I'm walking with the security guard, I don't see nothing but police cars just surrounding my friend's car, bro. So what they found in the car was 14 grams of weed, so half an ounce of weed in the car, in the backpack that I had just given him, my old backpack that said LJ Westbrook on it, stitched on there, as I'm wearing my new one, right? So mind you, sophomore year, I already got in trouble for the situation at lunch with smoking. So now and then mind you, again, junior year, I came back after the smoking situation, arrogant as possible. Like, I'm committed to Oregon State. Don't tell me nothing. I'm not listening to nobody. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I was. I wasn't ready, bro. I was being super immature. I wasn't ready. So all it took was for them to see that 14-ounce bag of weed in a bag that had LJ Westbrook's name on it to instantly say, that's LJ's weed in that car. Even though it wasn't my car, and even though friend A, who had never gotten in trouble for anything, friend A told them, that's mine. He said, that's mine. I'll take whatever punishment I got coming towards me. That is mine. You know what I mean? Like, let me hold this. That's mine. They're telling him, no, it's not. No, it's not. It is in LJ's bag. And he's telling him, LJ just gave me. I'm telling him, I just gave him that bag. You know what I mean? And I'm not in there. I don't want my friend to get in trouble, but all I can tell him is, I know it says LJ Westbrook on the bag. That's not my bag. But looking back on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, how crazy would it be to have a kid come and tell me, hey, I know my name is on this bag in this car that you've seen me walking out of, but it's not my bag. Yeah. I'd be like, bro, stop it. You know, I'd probably say the same thing, especially if he had previous history with the same situation. So, they're telling me, like, look, this is your second offense. And like I said, there's usually a 3-strike. There's usually just 3-strike. This is your second offense. This is it for you here at North. This is all like in the same day. This is it for you here at North. And I'm crying, bro. I'm in there crying, my eyes out. I'm like, this is my senior year. I got tryouts tomorrow. It's not mine. Like, that's all I'm saying. It's not mine. It's not mine. They're just kind of just looking at me laughing like, sorry, you know what I mean? Like, it's in your bag. It's not my bag. Well, it has your name on it. I can't really argue with that. It does have my name on it. But my friend and me are both telling you it's not mine. They're like, no, we're not believing that. We're not believing that. I'm sorry. So, I left. They called my mom, called my dad. I think my mom came and got me. I went home, and then they were like, you know, you're going to have to go to like an appeal, kind of. I forget how the situation went, but they're like, you know, you're expelled. You're not welcome back here at North no more. You're expelled. And so we appealed the expulsion because once you're expelled, you're not allowed to go to any other Salem Kaiser school in the district.
Oh.
So it was like, at first it was like, okay, cool. Well, if they're gonna kick me out of North, I'll just go to West with Alex Roth. I don't know if you heard of Alex Roth. I play AAU with him. I'll go play with Alex Roth and we'll win state over there. Whatever you want to do. But no, they were gonna expel me from the school district.
Okay.
So we appealed that. And they didn't approve the appeal. So now I'm expelled. Now it's like, oh man, I'm an Oregon State commit. I was literally had a signing day the next day, right before tryouts was my signing day in the library, bro. So no more signing day. I still have my offer. They didn't take my scholarship away.
Okay.
They let me keep my offer. You know, they were very upset. They were pissed off, to say the least. They were very upset with me. But they never knew about the sophomore year situation because that happened before I was even committed to them.
Okay.
So the appeal got denied, and now my mom and my dad are trying to figure out the next step. They're like, honestly, we think the best situation for you is just to kind of just get out of here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so Ryan Schmidt, who was my coach my junior year, was coaching at a prep school in South Carolina.
Okay.
And so they called him and was like, hey, can we send LJ out there with you? Of course. He was like, no problem. So they sent me out there with him, and they're like, you got to finish school out there, get your high school degree, you know, get your high school diploma, and then you can go to Oregon State, and it's whatever. Then, you know, your hands are clean, everything happens, or stuff happens, you know, everybody's story is different. So I go to school with Ryan Schmidt in South Carolina at a private school. I'm going from North Salem where I'm wearing stuff like this. I got my headphones on.
Yeah.
You know, I got earrings in. Half of my homies got sleeves and tattoos already by my senior year. To now I'm at a private school. I got to wear a tie. I got to have a certain haircut. It's got to be low. My pants got to be all the way up to my waist. I got to wear certain shoes. I can't have headphones in. Like, those are all these rules that I'm getting adjusted to. And once they found out, you know, it was a private school, it was a Christian school. Once they found out what I was there for, why I was transferring, somebody from North Salem, who I still don't know to this day, was just just dry hating on me, called the school I was at. It was called Shannon Forest Christian School. I'll never forget. Called Shannon Forest and said, you guys know that you just accepted a kid who got expelled for 2 drug offenses in Oregon. So once they told him that, they called me into the office again and said, we can't honor your scholarship here at the school. We have to let you go. So now I'm literally just broken, bro. Like, Ryan Schmidt comes in there and tells me, hey, I gotta send you home. You know, they don't want you here at the school. So I'm literally just broken. I go home and I'm sitting in my room, bro, crying all day. Like, I just went from a Oregon State commit with everything going for me my senior year to now I don't know what I'm going to do. So a lot of people don't know this. I went home, I cried it out for a couple of days. The person who came in my room was my mom and was like, hey, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like, what are we going to do? Do you want to quit basketball and get you a job, or do you want to, you know, keep fighting? I was like, of course I want to keep fighting. So I had a JUCO offer once, you know, it was crazy, bro. It's so crazy. You can never burn bridges, bro. You can never burn bridges. Because when I was committed to Oregon State junior year and senior year still, before I got in trouble, I'm having JUCO coaches, top JUCO schools in the nation, CSI, Indian Hills, calling me, offering me because they thought maybe my grades I wouldn't get accepted into Oregon State because of my grades. I might need a year or two of JUCO. I'm leaving them on red, bro. I'm D1. I'm not going to no JUCO. I'm a Division I player. I'm too good for JUCO, whatever. So now I'm expelled. Basically not expelled twice, but I'm expelled from North. I got kicked out of the Christian school because of what happened at North. So now I'm sitting in Salem trying to find a JUCO. I get this JUCO called Casper College in Wyoming, Region 9, called me and say that if I get my GED, they can take me and I can come to school early, you know, and finish out the school year and then do my 2 years. So that's why a lot of people don't know. I went and got my GED at Shemeketa. My mom took me. I took GED test, passed it. I don't got no high school diploma, bro. I got my GED from Shemeketa Community College here in Salem, Oregon.
Gotcha.
And then went straight to JUCO. Did my 2 years there at Casper College. Got my associate's degree. And once I got my associate's degree, and I think I was second team all conference at Casper my sophomore year, it was like, okay. I kind of found, I'm still going a little bit. It wasn't the path I thought I was going to be on. But I'm still going, you know what I mean? I'm still doing something. I'm still playing basketball. I got my associates now. My mom got to watch me graduate with my associates and walk across the stage. And that was huge for me because I didn't get to let my mom enjoy seeing her firstborn son, graduate from high school, have a senior night at high school and all that. And I know how much that meant to her. So for her to come and see me graduate my sophomore year with my associates and just hug me with my diploma, bro, meant the world to me. It finally felt like, okay, you're back on track. You're doing something right.
Yeah.
So that's my situation at North, bro. And that really could have broke me. It did break me a little bit. I wouldn't say I broke, but I was close to being broken in half and snapping in half. But I kept it pushing. I did my 2 years at JUCO. Like I said, got my associates. After that, I got an offer. I still wanted to go D1. So my sophomore year, I had 3 D1 offers out of JUCOs: Portland State, Washington State, and Washington, UW. So now I'm feeling good. I just got to make a decision. I wanted one more. I wanted this offer from LSU, bro. The LSU guy came to my school, and he was watching a guy that we were playing at Gillette College. His name is Cavell Bigby Williams.
Oh,
and, Cavell, he went to Oregon.
Yeah.
He went to U of O.
Yep.
They were watching Cavell Bigby Williams, and I had a great game. I think I had 30 and beat them, and they were the number 1 team in the nation. And so the LSU coach is texting me like, hey, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. I'll be in contact. So I'm just waiting on that offer. I'm waiting all summer. No offer. So I'm like, okay, I'm finna go to play for Coach Romar at Washington. I call him, no, sorry. We already gave it away. You took too long. All right, cool, whatever. I'll call Washington State. Same thing, sorry. We call Portland State. I didn't want to go to Portland State just because I finally had moved away from Oregon, and as hard as it was at first, bro, I just realized there's so much more life, so much more to do outside of Salem, outside of Oregon in general. So I didn't want to go to Portland State, but I was like, all right, whatever. It's my last option. I call them, same thing. Sorry, offer's gone. So
who was the coach then? Do you remember?
Coach. It was right before Perry got there. It was Coach Given.
Okay.
Coach Given was still there.
Because I had a family friend play there for a year. Then he went to San Diego, 2-time All WCC.
Okay.
Now he plays in Puerto Rico. His name's Isaiah Pinheiro.
Okay.
But he was at Portland State. I was just curious if you would have been there at that same time.
Yeah, Coach Given was a coach, and he actually was the assistant coach when James Johnson's little brother, Dane Johnson, he went to Portland State and played a couple years there before he transferred to Western Oregon.
Okay.
And so they had kind of known about me, obviously, growing up, but it wasn't never in their mind that I was going to go to Portland State when I was getting offers from Pac-12 schools, ACC schools, whatever the case might have been.
Right.
So I called them, and they're like, nope, sorry, offer's gone, took too long. Literally, this is like August 2nd, right before college is finna start. Guys have been on campus already for a month. I get a call from an HBCU school in Texas called Prairie View A&M University. Like, we'll give you a full ride if you want to come out here. So I take that, and great experience for me socially. You know what I mean? Socially wise, I met my son's mom there at that school.
Okay.
But basketball wise, bro, we were literally the worst team in the nation, bro. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, we were the worst Division I basketball team in the nation. We were so bad. Yeah, so it was an awful experience for me basketball wise. To where I was starting to really, like, do I even like basketball like this anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't even fun. Everybody's gone through that too, where it's like, this isn't fun for me no more. I don't want to do it. I was losing my love for the game. And so I made the decision to transfer my senior year to this NAIA school in Nebraska called Peru State College. Best decision, bro, that I've ever made in my life. Even though it was, I was NAIA. All my friends, again, that I played EYBL with, Cameron, Silas Melson is playing in the national championship game with Nigel Williams-Goss for Gonzaga. Cameron Chapman just hit the buzzer beater in the Pac-12 championship game for Michigan. And I'm over here, at an NAIA school. So it was eating me up. But I think that really helped me motivate myself to go out there and dominate those guys, bro. And so I played my senior year there. We lost in the Elite 8 of the national tournament. I got my team all the way to the national tournament. We won the first round game. We were the last seed. We were like the 16th seed if it was like a March Madness tournament, and we beat the number 1 seed. I had 28, 12, and 8 and fouled out with like 5 minutes left. I was finna have the first triple-double in national tournament history, and if I didn't foul out on a terrible call, by the way. Awful call. Awful call. And so after that season was over, agents just started just blowing my line up, bro. Started really hitting my coach, and now it was like, now it's time to be a professional. And I got an agent. I signed with an agent. But again, though, that senior year, bro, taking that chance on something that you might not think is socially acceptable, because like I said, all my peers are Division I players, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. A lot of guys may not have played, but 80% of the guys I grew up playing are all Division I players. So, or playing at some high level, maybe even D2. Now I'm at NAIA, and I'm just like, bro, this isn't what my basketball career was supposed to be, but this is where I'm at. I led the nation in assists per game. Total assists, was a NAIA second team All-American, was first team in my conference. And I think doing that, honestly, if I had the choice, I probably would have went there all 4 years, bro, and just been a monster. You know what I mean?
I mean,
If I was doing that for 1 year, I think I could have went there 4 years and maybe even redshirted a year, you know, got swole in the weight room a little bit. But it was nothing like just having a green light my senior year. I was doing whatever I wanted to, bro. And we were winning games. And that was probably one of the best coaches I had. Shout out Coach Bob Ludwig. He let me be me, and he could see it in my. I was mad, bro. I was mad that I was there. And he was telling me, like, use that, you know, take that frustration out on those guys on the opposite team. Go take it out on them.
That's not, I mean, honestly, that's that idea, because obviously all of us want to be D1 guys. But, I mean, there's a lot of D1 guys that aren't the guy.
Exactly.
Right? And so, like, even if you can play at that level, or maybe you bump down some and then you're that guy.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot to be said about that. I mean,
and I think after playing in the NAIA, there's dogs. There's dogs in there, you know, that just might not have had the grades, might not have had the opportunity to play at the Division I level. But there was a guy that played for a team in the national tournament. I think he was National Player of the Year. I forget his name. He was a monster, though, white dude. He went. He had like 5 NBA workouts, bro. Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a monster. He was killing. I think he averaged a double-double. He had 5 NBA workouts, and now he's playing in some high major league overseas in Europe. So you don't always have to go D1, and that's something I've been able to tell my little bros here in Salem that was still in college. Like, bro, you don't have to go D1 to eventually become a professional. I promise you don't.
For sure.
You don't have to, bro. But that's something like you kind of just said, we all grow up wishing we can go D1. We're watching college basketball, March Madness, college football on TV. So it's like, I want to be there. We're not really watching NAIA games or going to NAIA games like that. But there's dogs at every level. And if you can hoop whatever sport, they're going to find you. The scouts and the coaches, the GMs, the owners, they're going to find you no matter what.
And that's another thing, especially these days compared to, like, you know, I'm in college in the early 2000s and there's no social media.
Right.
Like, Facebook came out like my senior year in college. And when Facebook first came out, Facebook actually was a platform for just college kids.
Right.
Facebook was not for everyone. Facebook started as a college social networking platform. Just college.
I didn't know.
I believe you actually had to have a college. I might be wrong with this, but I believe you actually had to have a college email address to get a Facebook account.
Wow. When
Facebook first launched. But these days, bro, if you can hoop,
they're going to find you, man.
It doesn't really matter where you are.
It does not.
Like, someone's going to have a video of you or, yeah.
Social media nowadays is just so ridiculous. Like, it was around when I was, in high school a little bit. Like, we got some, I don't know, you remember Oregon Live? Like, Oregon Live videos, they used to post little videos of the top players around. So I was on Oregon Live a little bit. But now with guys like big brother Ryan Slider, shout out SS Visual Works.
Yep.
He's giving guys a platform to go anywhere. And what he's doing is great for the community, bro, for the state of Oregon in every sport.
Yep.
Because he'll put you on a video and his views is getting, he might get 500,000 views an hour, sometimes 2 hours, you know what I mean? So you dunk on a dude and Slider gets that on video, you might go D1 just off that video, literally. Because social media nowadays, bro, is like a wildfire. It's crazy. It's very crazy. So yeah, senior year, you know, I was All-American. Got an agent after that and was able to pursue my dreams of being a professional. And so now James Johnson's little brother, Dane Johnson, at the time when I graduated my senior year, is now he's the assistant coach for the South Bay Lakers, the G League affiliate for the Lakers. And he got me a workout for the South Bay Lakers to come in. And literally the day before that, I had just signed my first contract to go to Mexico. And in my contract, it said, once I sign, I'm kind of locked in. So it's just crazy how everything works out, bro. You know what I mean? I definitely could have had a Lakers workout, but again, I'm just happy to be a professional. And I was going to Mexico too. I got to tap into, you know, my Mexican roots a little bit down there, which was really big for me. Like my dad is from LA. His whole family is still in LA. All my cousins, my aunties, my uncles are all living in Inglewood still or surrounding areas. But my mom's I grew up here in Oregon with my mom's family, nothing but Mexicans, bro. So for me to be able to go to Mexico and kind of see where a lot of my grandfathers and uncles and all of them came from was an amazing experience for me. And to play basketball there too, even better, bro. Even better. I got to put Alvarez Westbrook on the back of my jersey too one time, which my family appreciated. It was super cool.
Which I think I seen that on something on your social media, and I was thinking, what? Because
out here I'm LJ Westbrook. You know, everybody knows me as LJ Westbrook, but even in Africa, they call me They think my first name is Alvarez. They call me Alvarez Westbrook because there's a hyphenated last name.
Maybe it's something with that I seen.
It probably was. Like, what is that? Because when they post me, like if I was player of the game or when I was MVP, it said MVP Alvarez Westbrook.
That's got to be what it was. Yeah, that's got to be what it was.
They never call me LJ. They don't even call me James. They call me either Alvarez Westbrook or just West. Usually they'd be like West. So it was super cool for me to go out there to Mexico, bro, and be able to do that 4 years straight and make good money doing it too. You know what I mean? Make good money doing it too. Being able to still show my little brothers and sisters, you know, that you can, my little brother and sister, that you can still make something, you know what I'm saying, of yourself, even when you make a mistake. And I say all that about my situation at North to say this, that I could have let that situation at North define me and tear me down, and I could be out here just working in Salem for the past years, you know, doing whatever, working for my dad, doing whatever. It was construction, it doesn't matter. Right. But you got to always keep grinding, bro. You got to always search for that light at the end of the tunnel. It might not be the brightest, you know what I mean? You might not think the grass is always greener, but tough times really do not last, bro. They really don't. Especially the people who continuously work. I knew all the amounts of hours that I put in, the work that I put in, that I still had so much more to give to the game, that it was like, bro, I gotta find a way to make it happen. And it wasn't easy, bro. Trust me. It was not easy. At JUCO, that lifestyle is not easy. I'm not eating some nights, bro. First of all, I'm a poor college kid. Right. My mom is sending me like $50 for the week. And so my favorite food is wings. I'll go to KFC and get $20 worth of wings on my first day. My $50 is supposed to last me a week. So now I got $2 to spend each day to, last. Like, it was a struggle at JUCO, bro. It was a struggle. We're driving 9 hours sometimes, the games, on a small bus while my Division I friends are flying the games, getting all the gear. I get 2 hoodies, some team shoes. These guys is getting crazy gear everywhere else. You know what I mean? They get to go to their gear room and just pick stuff. I'm having to beg for a leg sleeve and some socks. Like, it's not easy, bro. It definitely wasn't easy, but being able to sit here with you today and say confidently that it was for sure 125% worth it, for sure.
Man, that's you got a powerful story in that, because you're actually a guy that had a scholarship. Like, you weren't a guy that, like, well, I could have. No, right. You had it. Right. Like, there's a lot of us dudes like me. I played D3. We played a few D1s. Each time I had good games, double doubles. We played like 3 different D1s. 20 something and 10s right against them, and I'm like, man, I could play at that level. But I never actually had a scholarship.
Right.
Where you did. Like these were real opportunities
right.
That didn't work out, and then to keep grinding that mental fortitude in and of itself, that had to have been extremely difficult.
Yeah.
It wasn't just I could have. It was, no, I had it.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that, like, I'm telling my teammates, when I get to these JUCOs, I'm like, bro, I'm not supposed to be here. And they're like, yeah, whatever, bro. You know what I mean? Like, they got the, whatever, you could have had this, you could have had that. But I'm literally just in my head thinking, like, they got no clue that I was this close to having everything that worked. Because when you get to JUCO, it's nothing but, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Dudes aren't really passing the ball like that.
Right.
Dudes just trying to get their numbers, get their film so they can go D1. They don't really care about getting assists or playing the right way. They're just trying to get up out of there. So it definitely, bro, was mentally challenging, to say the least. And then I think it only helped me because now being a overseas professional, bro, that's mentally challenging too. Everybody on the outside thinks, oh, this guy plays basketball overseas, he gets to travel and he's on vacation, you know what I mean? And it might look good. Like, I do post a lot about where I'm at and how the scenery looks nice and the cool stuff I get to do. But people don't understand, bro. When you're overseas, you're by yourself. I don't take my son with me. I don't take my sister and my mom. I can't take my mom and my dad with me, overseas. I'm out there on my own in a country that I really don't speak the language that well, so I can't communicate with everybody that well. You're alone every night, and I'm big on family, bro. I'm a huge family guy. Me and my brothers and sisters could be sitting down next to each other and not say a word, but I'm just in a great mood because I'm surrounded with my people. You know what I mean? So being by myself really, it's tough, bro. Now that I have a son, like that's even tougher. Be having to FaceTime your son, and he's 2 now, so he's starting to talk a little bit, like looking at me like, where are you at? Like, why are you not here? Like it's definitely tough. The time difference, being away from your family, can't even really FaceTime people like you want to at certain times. It's challenging too. It's got its pros and its cons, but that's just more challenging than what everybody actually thinks it is.
That loneliness. I mean, I'm getting to live that a little bit with Zay. He's down in Mexico.
Right.
I probably have a missed FaceTime call from him right now.
Right.
And I appreciate him calling me all the time, me and my wife, and I get to kind of hear what that's like. But it's bittersweet. He's getting some cool opportunities down there. But at the same time,
he's a hooper too.
He's good.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that he was going to give up on basketball because he was like, I don't think I'm that good, and then started working at it more, and started having some success, and then he's like, I'm actually pretty good at this. I might want to pursue this more. But just seeing the last, I don't know what, month and a half he's been down there, it's definitely bittersweet because, he's in this hotel that the team owner of his team owns this hotel.
Right.
And he's got no friends or family down there. He's been learning Spanish, traveling around to these different places where he's playing. But doing it because he loves the game. He's trying to climb whatever ladder he can climb. It sounds like he's been getting some talks about maybe going into the top league down there, which there's some good money down there, is what he's telling me.
So I think he's playing there's a league that's going on right now. A couple of my teammates playing. There's 3 leagues in Mexico. There's the LMBP, and that's the one I play in yearly. There's Cibacopa and the Chihuahua League. They're kind of like the summer leagues, and then I think that's the one Zay is in playing right now. It's either that one or it's like LBE League or something like that.
I think he's in the lowest league right now.
Okay.
I think he has made the comment that he's in the lowest league right now. That league gets done in the next month or so.
Okay.
And then he's killing down there. And so it sounds like someone's talked to him about maybe being in whatever league you played in, which that league, he said, that runs like an August to December.
Yeah.
Does that sound?
Yeah, so it's actually back now. Yeah, it's going to be August to December. The finals will go all the way to December if you're making it in the finals.
Okay.
And it's just finally getting back long like that, bro, because when my rookie year, my rookie year was like 6 months. It was like half a year. But after COVID, it went from 6 months to 2. We played that first year after COVID. We played 2 months, bro. Okay. Playoffs included.
Okay.
And we played like with no fans. Okay. It was crazy. But now, this year it's going to be back to a longer season, and they're starting to get their money back to pay players what they need to. Okay. They get a lot of ex-NBA guys in there too, bro. On my team last year, I played with Vanderblue. I played with the Lakers. He's one of my best friends now. Okay. And this guy that went to, he's going to be so mad that I'm not remembering his name. He went to North Carolina. Okay. And he just played with me, but they get a lot of dogs out there in that top league.
Is that what Avery's going to be playing?
Yeah, Avery will be playing. Avery's been playing in that same league too, since he went to Clemson. And then I want to say he played in the G League for like 2 years with the Santa Cruz Warriors. Okay. And then after that, he went to Mexico.
Okay.
Shout out my boy Avery Holmes, man. He really he tore his knee up again too. When he got to Mexico, his first game in Mexico, he blew his knee out again. And just the mental, we're talking about AJ Lepre, my brother AJ Lepre, the mental fortitude you have to have, bro, to come back from something like that is so. I've been blessed, knock on wood, to not ever have any type of major injury. I've rolled my ankle plenty of times, but jammed my finger. Right. I've never had to have surgery and miss half a year. I'd probably want to quit. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could do it. My sister tore her meniscus and had to miss a whole season, and I watched her mentally come back and be like, I don't know if I'm gonna be how I was, bro. You know what I mean? Avery was the same way. Me and Avery weren't talking as much when he tore his knee up the second time when he was in Mexico. But I watched him in high school, get back mentally. So to see him do it again a second time, I don't know if it was the same knee or not. But to come back, he's playing better than he has ever before right now. He's playing his best basketball right now.
Wow.
And guys like that, guys like Avery, guys like AJ, people like my sister, Avina, watching them battle through that, basketball-wise is what really motivates me even more. And I don't tell them this all the time, and I probably should. But watching them go through that and to come back out on top and even better than they were before, bro, is motivation within itself.
For sure. Speaking of your sister, I've been curious. Now I am getting to know you, but from the outside, what has it been like to? And I asked this question because when I did Willie's. Romeo Travis, who played high school with LeBron, commented a few things on Willie's, and then I messaged with Romeo a little bit. But I always thought it would be interesting to talk with Romeo. Obviously, he's very accomplished himself with playing at Akron and overseas for a long, long time. But I always thought, man, what? And me being a hooper, I put myself in those shoes of what would it have been like if one of my boys would have got to live because it's LeBron, he got to be the guy in the whole world. What would that be like to have one of my dudes who I love and care about basically get my dream right
in front of my eyes?
If that was Romeo's, I'm assuming he wanted to play in the NBA, we all do, right? That's what we all wanted to do. And so I've been curious with you, obviously it's a bit different because it's your sister, and it's the WNBA. But now hearing your whole journey, she kind of got
everything.
The journey that you probably would have wanted in terms of number one rated girl in the nation in high school, and went to the two basically most famous women college programs. Played in a national. They didn't win that one, did they?
They lost. No, South Carolina. She played 2 Final Fours and
she played really well
that game. She did.
But I always thought I wonder what that was like for the big bro to get to experience that with her, and then be man. You kind of got
She just came in and swooped everything that I was supposed to get. No, it's we always joke about it a lot. Me and my sister growing up, bro, were literally the best of friends. Well, not probably until she was When she was like 7 or 8, 9, that's when we became like best friends. She used to snitch a lot. Like she used to get me in trouble, so I didn't really like her. But no, so once, you know, before she even became like nationally ranked and all that, she was just working out nonstop. Like she was probably 6 years old, 7 years old, trying to beg me to come to the gym with her. Not even like, let's go outside, LJ, let's play 1-on-1. Like, and if I'm going soft against her, you know what I mean? She'd get mad. Like she'd be like, no, like play hard. And I would, okay, like you're not gonna beat me, but that's what she wanted. And now thinking about it was so crazy, bro. She was like 7 or 8. Knowing that if I were to push her, a brother that's 4 years older than her, stronger than her, faster than her, if I beat up on her outside every day playing 1-on-1, that it was only making her better, bro.
Yeah.
To have that type of mentality as a 7 or 8 year old, it really explains why she's in the position that she's in today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was already watching her become a monster before anybody else. You know, I got to see it firsthand. So once I got expelled and I was leaving, that's when her stock was starting to, because we're 4 years apart. So after I would have graduated my senior year, she would have been a freshman. So her freshman year, she went to South Salem. I think they got 3rd in state. And she was really, really good. And then them rankings came out that summer and she was #1 player in the nation. So actually, I think at the time she was number 3.
Okay.
She was either 2 or 3. On the first official rankings going into her sophomore year, she was like 2 or 3. And that pissed her off, bro. Like, she was mad. She was so mad that she wasn't #1. I've never seen her that mad. We're driving home. Me, my mom, my dad, and my little brother Tigo. Bro, you're number 3 in the nation. You finna go to any school you want. She's in there huffing and puffing, like mad. She got a mad look on her face because she wanted to be #1. She's different. She's just a different breed. But no, bro, just getting to watch her, you know, live out not only my dreams, but those are her dreams, bro. We used to lay down at night, you know, and just talk. And she used to tell me, bro, I'm finna play in the WNBA. Nothing's gonna stop me. I'm finna go D1. Nothing's gonna stop me. So to be able to watch her do everything that she told me she was gonna do, bro, is a bigger blessing than I could have asked for me to do it myself. Not only for her, but she's let our little brother Tigo watch every step of the way. And that's something because me and Tigo are 13 years apart. So when I was doing my thing, Tigo was a little kid. He's not really paying attention. So once he started, you know, kind of paying attention a little bit more, she's taking trips to Notre Dame, Indiana, South Carolina, UConn, Tennessee, like Baylor. And she's taking my mom and my little brother with her to every trip. So she's doing that for not even herself, but for our little brother. And that right there within itself is something that I appreciate more, because when I was doing that, I was taking her with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I want her to see this. And she must have learned that from me. Okay, bet. If I'm the big sibling and LJ's gone, I have to do that for our little brother. So I don't really tell her this a lot, bro. But she's seriously, bro, my hero, bro. She's my little sibling, my little sister. She is my hero. Just by how hard she has worked, the things she's accomplished. Like you said, #1 player in the nation. She's 2-time state champion. I think she's a 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year.
Really?
3. I think she won it her sophomore, junior, and it might be junior, senior, but I think it was sophomore, junior, senior.
Wow.
She's insane, bro. McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand Classic, Team USA gold medalist. Like, she's different.
Wow.
She's different, bro.
Would she be considered the most decorated girls basketball player in Oregon? Has anyone
that I know of? There's you heard of Cameron Brink? Cameron Brink, she plays at Stanford.
She was at Southridge.
She went to Southridge. That's who they beat. My sister's senior year in the state tournament. Also, there's Jamie Nard. She went to Tennessee. She was a monster. Okay. Jamie Nard, monster. She went to can't remember the name of the school in Portland. They're like black and red, but she went there. Westview. She went to Westview.
Okay.
Mercedes Russell. She's from Springfield. She plays for the Seattle Storm right now. She went to Tennessee as well with my sister.
Okay.
Mercedes Russell, Jamie Nard, and my sister all played with each other at Tennessee my sister's freshman year, and they were all 3 from Oregon, so that was pretty cool.
Okay.
But without me being biased about my sister, I don't know if there's anybody messing with her resume, bro, at all. And her game in general.
Yeah.
She used to make parents of boys like complain that she shouldn't be playing boys basketball. Like, I've never heard of that, bro. It's usually like I've never heard of a dad go up to the director of the tournament and say, "Why are you allowing a girl to play against boys?
This girl's cooking my son.
This girl's destroying bullying my son out there." Because she wasn't just small, like, right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's always been a taller female. Even, you know, girls kind of mature earlier than boys at a younger age. So she was like, bro, in like 6th grade, bullying these little dudes, and they would cry. My sister would look at them, laugh. They were trying to bully her back, and she, give me some of that. Like, she wants that smoke, bro. She's just a different breed, bro. I've never seen nothing like it, and I don't know if we'll ever see anything like that in Oregon again. But I hope we do, though, because that's really what it's all about. Like, she set the standard, and I know she wants to push forward the level of play here in Oregon as far as girls basketball goes. Because there's some hoopers that come out of Oregon for sure, both girls and boys, like we were talking about before. But I think she really she raised the standard, bro. She raised the bar super, super high, bro.
Yeah,
she's different.
Have you, man? Asking this question, I feel like I'm going to offend one of you, because obviously you guys have played 1-on-1.
Yeah. I'll just answer it for you. She'll never beat me. She's never beat me. She's never, and I'm the only person I want to say, bro, that she's scared of to play 1-on-1. Okay. The last time we played 1-on-1, we were playing Ryan Skinner's son, Mini Skinny, Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden.
It was me, Mini Skinny, my sister, and she had a teammate from her EYBL team. This is a minute ago. This is like 5 years ago. And we were all working out in the morning, like 7 a.m. at the hoop. And we were playing King of the Court, so like 1-on-1 continuous. Yep. I'm cooking. I'm 3 or 4 years older than all of them, so I should be killing like I am. I'm killing them, and my sister's getting mad because she can't get a stop. I score on her, and I'm talking crazy. Next, you can't guard me. Get out the way. Next, you too small. So I score on her, and you know the next person's supposed to come up and check. It was Skinny. It was Mini Skinny. I score. My sister grabs the rebound, pushes Skinny back to the baseline, and checks up with me again. I score on her. She grabs the rebound, checks up with me again, and it turned into 1-on-1. Like, the Skinny and her teammate just went and sat on the side, and me and her played 1-on-1 for like 30 minutes. But nah, she can't beat me. Okay. She can't beat me 1-on-1. I can't let her have that one. I
assumed, but I wanted to.
No, it's a valid question. Mm-hmm. I can't let her have that one. She'll beat anybody else, but not me though.
Okay,
not me. Nah, I can't go for that one.
Nah. What about you and your dad?
Play 1-on-1?
Yeah.
I think I dunked on him the last time we played 1-on-1, and he said that was it.
Okay.
He said I was young though. He was like, what is he now? 51 now? Man. So
he does not look 50.
He'd be in the gym, bro. He'd be doing push-ups and sit-ups, lifting.
Yeah.
He'd be doing prison workouts. He's got a prison body.
That LA workout.
Exactly. Yeah. He's outside doing dips on the chair, like just randomly on the porch. Like he's different. But I think my sister gets a lot of that dog. I get that from him too, but my sister and my dad are twins, bro. They got the same type of mentality, and he played professionally too. He played overseas. He came from LA in an era where it was bad, you know, the Rodney King riots, the OJ situation. That was his era, so he had to get up out of there. My grandfather told my dad as soon as he got that offer to go to Umpqua Community College, he was like, "You're getting out of here." And my dad said the same thing you were telling me earlier outside, like, Umpqua, Oregon. What is in Oregon? Like, what's out there in Oregon? Do they got roads? Do they got TVs? Do they got lights? Like, what is in Oregon, bro? What is that? And he was in Roseburg. Umpqua's in Roseburg. So he was like, when he got there.
So that's how he got up here.
He went Umpqua? From Inglewood, California to Roseburg, Oregon, bro. At Umpqua Community College.
Bro, because Umpqua, there probably wasn't a college that recruited me more
than Umpqua.
Really? Bro. But I was like, I can't go to Roseburg.
Are they a JUCO? Is that what is that?
It's a 2-year school.
It's 2 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Which honestly, looking back now, like I told you, like that wouldn't have been a bad move for me. Like I was 6'7", 165 in high school. Right. I got made fun of so bad. When I see photos of me, I'm like, how did I do anything?
Right.
Bro, and like, I mean, I was one of the best players in the state back then.
Right.
But I mean, developmentally, physically.
So you think you could have used a year for sure?
Oh man, if I would have just went to a 2-year school, like most people told me to, for a guy like me, that would have been the best thing to do.
Right.
Because skill wise, I could play Division I. I could shoot it and pass it and handle it. Physically, nope.
Right.
No way. And so that a guy like me, that would have been a perfect route. But my ego back then wouldn't have allowed that. And like I said, like with the Linfield thing, my freshman year at Linfield, we were number 5 in the nation. We had a great team, and so there's like some reasons that I stayed there. But really, if it was just basketball, I should have went to an Umpqua. Right. I definitely should have, because had I done that, first off, it wouldn't have cost what Linfield cost. It would have been free.
Exactly.
But 2 years, weight room, get stronger, and then go play at a level that, most of us desired, when we were in high school anyways.
I also think too, bro, like developing mentally is a big thing as well. Some people aren't mentally ready to go straight into Division I.
Yep. I wasn't.
Me either.
No. I mean, like, I didn't even like one thing about me is I don't like flying. And I didn't get on an airplane until my senior year in high school. We just didn't fly. And so like I could have taken the journey you and Zay and and went and hooped after college,
right?
But literally, like, I didn't like traveling. Right. That was something about me. Like that
you're afraid of flights, or you just don't enjoy.
I'm afraid. I don't like it. Like, I get freaked out.
Okay, I hear you.
Like, I'm getting on an airplane next week, bro, and at like 6 a.m, and I'll be having some Bloody Marys before I get on the airplane. And so, but like, I'm more comfortable flying now. Back then, I would get so freaked out. And so, like, pursuing basketball after college, probably the biggest roadblock, I was like, no, because I'll have to fly, like, to go to these other places, bro. And I don't want to do that. I hate flying. So even that, right? Like, even something like that where I'm like, I wasn't even prepared to, like, travel.
Right.
And, now I'm married to someone that lived in Africa and loves traveling. And,
exactly.
I'm trying to travel more. And, I for sure, if I would have went D1 out of high school, it would have broke me. It would have broke me.
I totally hear you, bro. Because it's not, and I think too, again, getting expelled probably was the best thing to happen for me now that I'm looking at it, because I wasn't mentally ready to go straight to a D1 where they give you ultimate freedom. You know what I mean? I didn't just come from the strictest household, but I had rules that I had to follow. I wasn't just out all night. I had to be home by 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. You know what I mean? If I would have went from that straight to an Oregon State University campus where I can do whatever I want to do, bro, I would have been kicked out of that school probably in the first 2 months, bro. Yeah. I would have flunked out because I would have been like, I'm just not going to class. I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I don't really have to go.
Well, exactly, yeah. Nobody's taking me to school. My mom's not driving me to school no more. I'm not going. You know what I mean? So, like, it's really not for everybody if you're not mentally prepared to.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's so many aspects to that. I mean, even OJ, who just never showed up. Like, I've asked him, like, bro, why'd you really do that back then? And he was like, I don't think I was ready for that life. Mm-hmm. I don't like everything that Division I sport is, which is, it is like a full-time job on top of being a student.
Man.
And he was like, I realized I wasn't ready for that commitment.
Man.
Where a guy like him, he's like, he hasn't said this, but I will say it for him. He can come to D3, and now he doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to go 100% to be the guy.
Exactly.
He was the guy. His little 44-inch vertical and his God-given ability, he was our best player, and we all knew it. And at Division III level, it's not your life like D1. There's different expectations and commitment levels, and
It is definitely like a full-time job, bro. And we, as student athletes, we used to get, I'm sure you've experienced, I used to get a lot of hate from like just my classmates because we look like, they think of us as like pampered babies, bro. You know what I mean? Like, for example, my child's mom, she was just she wasn't an athlete or anything like that. She was just a normal student. And I would be complaining to her about, oh, I gotta go to do this, I gotta do that. But she would tell me like, well, I mean, you're going to school for free. Like, stop crying. You know what I mean? Like, you're already getting all this, you're getting all this gear and stuff. So, like, in the eyes of just regular students, we're literally, like, spoiled brats. But they don't understand, like, I got to be up at 6 a.m. to go to weights before practice. I got practice at 7:30. I got class at 9. And then I probably got a workout at 5. And then I still got to do my homework that I haven't done. It's probably study hall, and then I got to be up at 6 a.m. the next morning.
Yeah, do it again.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not for everybody. A lot of people cannot do it. I've seen a lot of my teammates that have only been my teammates for a month, bro, because they can't do it. Yeah. It's not, like everybody says, it's literally not for everybody. It's tough. The traveling thing, some people can't do the traveling thing. They can't sit on a bus for 9 hours and go on a plane for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not for everybody at all times. Yeah. Speaking of traveling, though, bro, I had 2 back-to-back 9-hour flights from Africa I went from 9 hours from Africa to Belgium, 9 hours from Belgium to Chicago, and I promise you, bro, I've never been more stressed out in my life, bro. Them overseas flights are not for the weak. You're 6'7", bro. I'm 6'4". Imagine not having an exit row on a 9-hour flight. You're in the middle for 9 hours.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that is I've had nightmares about flying internationally. And my wife, when we first met, she was like, "Oh no, international travel is way better. The planes are bigger and they fly they fly higher." And I was like, "I don't like the idea of being higher. I'd rather be lower. Private jets fly a lot lower. Rather be on one of those." But I told her, I'm like, if we go to Africa and you show me where you've been, we're going to be first class.
Have to, bro.
I was like, it's non-negotiable. Because there's no way I'm going that far and being in a tiny little chair like we're sitting in right now. Smaller. Like, there's no way.
Smaller, bro. Smaller than this chair, bro. You can't stretch out like this. You really can't, bro. You really can't even do it. But if you first class, they set you up nice on international first class. You basically get like a little bed, kind of. Yeah. Get a little bed. You stretch out. It's comfortable. I haven't experienced it, but they be looking mighty comfortable up there in first class when I get on the plane. I've tried to finesse it a couple times too, and they're not going for it. I've tried them, but
yeah, no. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I'll at some point I'll start to like freak out or be claustrophobic or, you know, like
it's a grind, bro. It's a lot that goes into, like I was saying earlier, that a lot of people don't see. You know what I mean? Like that 9-hour travel, it took me 35 hours to get home, bro. I was traveling for 2 days straight with a 7-hour time difference. Like it's not easy. Yeah. You know, and this is leaving. This is leaving my job just to get home and enjoy my summer. Yeah. That's not easy, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that's the kind of stuff I want to make content about, though, is what it really takes, what it really looks like. Like the good and the bad. Like all of it. All of it. Yeah. Because, you know, we all on social media, for the most part, just put our highlights up there. Exactly. We don't put our lowlights. And really in anything, building houses. But, like, it's easy to see that finished product or see you holding the trophy but I really like, you know, the stuff behind that. What does that process really look like? Yeah. Like 2 back-to-back 9 hours. And it's not that you're saying, like, it's not worth it. You know, like in college, like, yeah, the students that went there and they were just going there, you know, they're looking at a student athletes like, oh, you get to this, and this. And some of that's true. But then there's also another side to it as well. It's like, yeah, but it's still like we're putting in work. Like it never stops for us. Like we don't go to class and then just go hang out the rest of the afternoon. Yeah. Like that's never, even in the off season, like we're training, we're open gymming, you know,
we don't get breaks. Like, we don't get to go home for Christmas break while you guys are at home with your families. I've missed, bro. When I was in college 4 years, I wasn't home for Thanksgiving 4 years straight, bro. It's right in the middle of basketball season. They're not finna fly me home to Oregon and then fly me back 3 days later so I can get out of shape and eat some good Thanksgiving food. I'm eating Thanksgiving food in Nebraska. You know what I mean? Like, it's a grind, bro. It's just not all peaches and creams like some people think it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's not for everybody. It's hard, but it's well worth it though. Yep. For sure. Well worth it. Whether you're as successful as LeBron James, whether you're as successful as I have been to a certain extent, or if you're not successful at all, I feel like just being able to take that chance and walk through that door is a blessing within itself. You know what I mean? Because I think I was reading a statistic earlier. I think it's like 5% of high school kids are collegiate athletes after they graduate high school.
It's wild.
And then I think it's 1% of high school kids or college kids are professional. You know what I mean? So just to be able to say that I got to experience that, I think will be able to motivate the younger generation. And that's really what I've been on, bro, lately, as, you know, getting a little bit older and coming back home, is I really want to water my roots, as I would say. Like, I grew up here in Salem around great guys: James Johnson, Price Johnson, Dane Johnson, my own father, Ryan Skinner, Ryan Schmidt. You know, just a handful of guys that took times out of their day to work me out because they seen it in me. And now me coming back home, my little brother's 15. All his friends are in the gym. Like, they like hooping. They like the grind. So I would be doing a disservice to the game, myself, and the younger generation of my community if I wasn't pouring into them how I was getting poured into at that age. Because I promise you, there's probably some guys right now like that have no recollection of the things they told me. Ryan Skinner, probably, bro, I can tell you everything Big Skin has told me since I've been a little kid. You know what I mean? About LJ, you need to do this. You need to, when he turns your back on you, that's when you come behind and steal it. Like, you know how Skin be stealing it all sneaky. He'd be like, you know, you got to hold your follow through with his little left hand jumper. Like, he'll show you how to hold your follow through. Like, I remember all that as a grown man. I'm finna be 29 in a couple months, bro. I remember all that Skin was telling me at 14, 15 years old. So I feel like now it's very important for me to get to doing that for, you know, the kids around here too, for sure.
Yeah, he was just yelling at me when I was coaching the McNary girls at West a couple weeks ago. He's sitting next to my wife. We're up in the upstairs gym, so everyone's just sitting on top of each other. And Trav, come on, the girls need a timeout, Trav.
He has no filter, man. Big Skin. And what's crazy is that, like, the way he speaks to people basketball wise, like, he speaks really aggressive. He's loud. Yep. But if you listen to what he's saying, bro,
he's not wrong.
His mind, his IQ is nuts.
He's not wrong.
His IQ is insane basketball wise. And his son, Mini Skinny Jaden, is even better. He's going to be a professional too here in the next couple of years. He's killing at, I forget what school he's at right now.
He's at St. Martin's.
Yeah, he's at St. Martin's with Tyke Thompson
Kyle.
and Kyle Greeley.
Kyle was about to we spent some time together a few weeks ago at some business things, but I'm friends with Kyle's older sister, Andrea. Okay. And Andrea's been on the podcast. But Kyle was about to run. I was about to get a men's league team together at the Hoop or Capitol Fieldhouse.
It's the Hoop.
Yeah, I know.
It'll always be the Hoop.
Yeah. Because one season just ended here a couple weeks ago, and then I thought they would just start back up, and then we would run during the summertime. Right. The next one doesn't start until mid-August. But, bro, McShane's going to run with us. Hildebrandt might play with us.
Ooh,
I got Zay was going to run with us, but now he's in Mexico. Mo and Tyreek are going to run with us. They played on the Capitals team. Who else was I don't know if you know Big Kev, Kevin Broderick Carday.
I know Big Kev.
Big dude. Skin's running with us. And then Kyle was like, hey, man, I'm down for the summer. And Kyle was going to run with us too. Right. But he'll be back up in college. But me and McShane, bro, we've talked about Skin's IQ, basketball IQ. And McShane's IQ is off the charts too. I mean, you've seen how people
for sure
like refer to him in the basketball world. But even Mike is like, bro, there's like nobody like Skin. Like he is
nobody, man.
And here's what's crazy. I didn't know this. Skin was almost on that state championship team at South Salem in '96 with McShane and Thalo. He was almost on that team. So when Ryan came to Salem from Arizona, his mom came here. This was funny too because Ryan never told me this story. McShane had to tell me this story once. Like McShane realized I was boys with Ryan. There was some open gym like in like the summer of '95 or I don't know. It was before the season, and Skin rolled into their practice. And I mean, back mid '90s, bro, there was nothing like a Ryan Skinner.
I would pay top dollar to see mid '90s Ryan Skinner play basketball, bro. I can only imagine.
Nothing like him around here,
right?
And McShane said, he's like, listen, there was nothing like Ryan when he came to our practice or tryout or whatever. And you know how everyone thinks about Mike.
Yeah.
Mike was like, there was nothing like Ryan Skinner, bro. And so he almost played on that team with Thalo and McShane, but his mom moved back to Arizona. So he had to go back to Arizona. So I didn't realize that Mike and Ryan went back that far.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
And I didn't start to learn that until last summer when me and Skin's team played McShane's team in the championship of the old man division. I didn't know that they went all the way back to the mid '90s.
That would have been cheating, bro. I mean, they were already really good, but with Skin, a '90s era Skin would have been insane. Bro.
Yeah, you might start talking about one of the best Oregon high school teams ever.
Oh, for sure. With those three on it, yeah, for sure. South Salem has some dogs out there. I'm not big on South Salem. I'm a North Salem guy till I die, and we don't really rock with South Salem like that. But they had some killers over there. They had, Lil Jaden, Lil Skin, my brother Tyler Wadley, my sister JD. Shout out Jeremiah Dominguez, man. When I first went to Mexico, I called Jeremiah, and I was like, bro, like, because he played out there.
Yeah.
And I called him, and I was just asking him, for some advice. I sent him my contract. I was like, does this contract look official or not? You know what I mean? And yeah, he was a South Salem great. They've had some killers come out of South Salem. I can't hate as much as I do be talking about South Salem. I gotta put some respect on the name. They not messing with North Salem though, but no, I got respect for South Salem. For sure. But Skin, bro, Skin is just on a totally different level. I knew he was different. This is what I'll tell you. Like, I was like 12, 13. So I'm starting to really take it serious a little bit. And he used to let us play men's league. Like, he would tell us to play men's league to, play against grown men. He's like, this is only going to help you. Somebody started talking crazy to Skin. Like, Skin missed a 3. He'll shoot a 3 and be like, hello. He'll shoot 3, hello, if he's going to make it. And so he said hello and missed. And somebody was like, yeah, shut up. Don't say that no more. You're broke. Like, you're not making nothing. Skin turned and looked at me and he said, yo, bro, I'm finna bank every 3 I shoot for the rest of the game because this guy's talking crazy to me. Trav, he played probably the next 30 minutes of the game in a men's league game at the hoop and banked every 3 off glass and was laughing. His laugh. Who shoot the 3, bank it, and run back, dying laughing, bro. And I'm like, yeah, Skin, you're different, but he's a great mentor that I've had. Even all these guys I'm naming, bro, James, Willie, CeeLo, Skin, they're great people, bro. Even outside of basketball, they've taught me so much about life. Even when I'm doing wrong, I think that's what's also really good about these guys, that they're not just telling me the things I want to hear. Everybody I just named, when I was messing up, they're telling me like, bro, you're messing up right now, bro, but. Keep grinding. You can figure it out. You can still figure it out. When I went to Mexico my rookie year, Skin told me, he was like, bro, you just got to be a crowd pleaser. Make sure the fans love you. They'll always want you back. Skin doesn't have to tell me that. Skin has 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? Well, 2 kids that played basketball at the time. He's got more than 2 kids. Right. But he was telling me, like, he's taking time out of his day to give me some advice when he does not have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, these guys just want to see me do well as a person, and that means more to me than anything.
Yeah, now you're seeing how you can be that for others.
They said that.
Like you're that next generation down from me and Skin and all the guys you named. And you think about that now as an adult and what you've experienced, and you still remember these conversations.
I'm telling you, bro.
And they impacted you, and you've like taken them with you. which now shows you how meaningful that can be.
Yeah, and I think really, bro, just like you say, like I do remember a lot of these things, and Skinner has probably no recollection. You know what I mean? But before games, like the things he's telling me at the free throw line, LJ, like spread your fingers more on the ball, like get your thumb off the ball on your release, like these little things that these guys are saying that they're just probably walking past me and seeing me like shoot the wrong way or flick my thumb, and they, hey, get your thumb off the ball when you shoot. Like, oh, you know, like wow, you're right, you're smart, like you know what you're talking about. Like those guys are just doing it because they want to, because they want to help. They want to see the guys that they're around be successful.
Yeah.
And these guys that I'm naming, bro, which is actually so, Skinner's not from Salem. Mm-mm. James Johnson and Price Johnson are not from Salem. Willie's not from Salem. CeeLo's not from Salem. These guys are from different areas, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I look at them even more because I just told you at the beginning of the episode, it was hard for me to try to feed into the Fort Worth community where I was living at in Texas because I didn't grow up here. You know what I mean? So for those guys to come from opposite sides of the nation to come to us, Little Salem, and then really like, it was probably because they're like, hey, I'm here. I'm not finna mess around and BS around. We finna get serious. You know what I mean? But the fact that these guys only met me when I was like 13, 14, and that they really genuinely cared for me, bro. I mean, so I just thought about that right now. Like, I've never even thought about that. None of these guys that we're talking about are from Salem, Oregon.
Actually, I didn't realize McShane's not from Salem.
He's not.
So as I've gotten to know him, he moved to Salem to play at South.
Where's he from?
Well, originally, where is he from? Not Oregon.
Okay. I didn't know that either.
But speaking of best hoopers, female hoopers, one of Mike's sisters, back in the 90s, Oregon City girls basketball they were ranked number 1 in the nation for like 3 straight years.
I heard about them.
Well, one of his sisters, was the number 1 player on that on one of those. They were on a Wheaties box one time.
They were that good?
They were that good. And one of his sisters was the best one on one of those teams.
Okay.
So they were up in Oregon City. But then Barry Adams, being the coach at South, who founded the Hoop.
Yeah.
Barry Adams is the founder of the Hoop. Actually, Mike McShane, funny little story, he got in trouble. One day I'll get him on here and I'll let him tell this story. I'll let him tell the details. He got in trouble with something, and his dad made him lay the original basketball floor at the Hoop and took his money for it because he got in trouble for something. So he got paid, and then he was like, I'll take that. So Mike helped lay the original wood at the Hoop. But Barry was Barry, I think, and a few others, was the founder, and then also Cascade Sports Camp, Barry and another guy. But yeah, that's why he ended up here in Salem, was hoops.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and Thalo was from Lincoln City, Taft. He was supposed to go to Taft High School.
And he just came out here.
And he came. Mike was at South, and Barry, and so yeah, he can't. And there's been people disgruntled about that move too. Thalo leaving Taft.
Right.
But yeah, so those. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not a Salem guy.
Yeah, you're not either, bro. You know what I mean? But the fact that you're taking the time to even sit down, you know what I'm saying, with multiple people from around this area because you're in this area now, bro, says a lot of the type of guy that you are and these other individuals that we're talking about too. Because again, you don't have to be doing this. So you guys don't have to be trying to better, you know what I'm saying, the people around you. Just by having this interview, bro, you've made me a better person within the last hour and a half. Like, you've taught me a lot, whether you realize it or not. You know what I mean? And those guys do the same thing. Whether they realize it, there's probably some things that I'm teaching these little guys around here that I'm not even realizing either. But that's just how it goes, bro. You got to just keep feeding into the next generation if we want to be a successful community. Yeah. For sure.
I'm glad you're back.
Appreciate you, bro.
In this community. Yeah, it would be good. You got your next generation giving back to basketball. And the older you get, the more you'll see how, dang, this game gave us so much, and we'll never be able to give it back. We'll never be able to give all the stuff back. But I like when I mean, even McShane was kind of burnt out with basketball.
Right.
And it seems as though him coaching and being back here is starting to bring some of that joy and that love back. You know, and I push him all the time. I'm like, bro, you got so much to give. Like the knowledge that you got and your path, you got so much to give back.
Appreciate you, bro.
And, you know, so having your generation, that's really cool because you guys can talk to the younger, better than we can, you know,
right.
because we're old now, right? Like,
I'm not too old.
You know, so it's and you can keep that storytelling, you know, like you got little kids that have no idea who Ryan Skinner is, right?
Right.
But you guys all know who he is,
exactly.
right? So like you keep that basketball history going
right.
In this area as well,
exactly.
Because these little ones know who you are, but
right.
they don't know who Skin is. So yeah, it's I'm grateful that you came on. You know, I look forward to getting to know your family more. One day we'll have your pops on
for sure.
When your sister's around, have her come on. Yeah.
I appreciate you having me. I want to give you your flowers while you're here too, bro. Like I said, not even just for me, but to have Willie on here, you know, the other business people that you've had on here, my man Gary Birch, like giving guys a platform to kind of spread their story and spread their experiences with other people from around this area is really good too. Just kind of like what you were telling me over there about my sister, like it's great for the girls around here to actually be like, wow, like she's from Salem playing for UConn in the national championship game, playing in the WNBA.
Right.
And even like it doesn't have to be to that level. Like
right.
for me, I'm on a whole lower tier than my sister, but it's still something that the kids here can look up to. You know
right.
what I mean? Even Mini Skinny, for example, like Skinny was at Portland State and then transferred to St. Martin's, but a lot of kids wouldn't have done that. A lot of kids wouldn't have transferred to St. Martin's to be a star when he could have stayed at Portland State and been D1. Oh, I'm D1. You know what I'm saying? I'm Lil Skin at D1. No,
right.
You know what I'm saying? He probably, I don't say he watched me do it, but he called me and asked me for advice. Like, bro, when you transferred to Peru State from your Division I, like, what was your thought process in doing that? You know what I mean? Like, what were you thinking about while doing that? And I was kind of explaining to him, like, bro, like me and you talked about, they'll find you anywhere. You know what I mean? They'll find you anywhere if you can hoop, but you want to go to a situation where you can be you, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to go to a situation where, and not every fit is the right fit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might try something. Some people might try to do a podcast and it not work out. Some
right.
people might try to sell real estate and it not work out, whatever the case may be.
Right.
You just gotta find your thing and then just try to grind it out, bro. But I have to give you your flowers out here, bro, because you're doing something really cool that I was telling you I haven't been done here in Salem. I've lived here for, how old am I? 28? I've lived here for like 25 years now and never seen anybody take the time to sit down with people from this area and get to know their backstory about how they got to where they are. So you got something really going on here, bro, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to help you however I can with your podcast.
Appreciate you. It's coming soon, man. It's coming soon. Coming soon. We'll work it out.
Well, bro, appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you, bro. For real. My guy.